Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of our Senior Fireside Chats. We're joined today again by the lovely Vivian. You should know her by now if you've been keeping up with our
Yeah,
episodes. So, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Awesome.
Still no COVID in our house, so yeah, we're doing good.
Yeah. Honestly, at this point, that's like a good thing to ask for. That's a pretty good bar, I say. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, today's topic is going to be relationships, and regardless of how old you are, it's a pretty big deal. And I know, especially for my age, it's a very, very large deal. So let's get straight into it. Our first question is going to be, how do you know if a relationship is going to be permanent? Like, for a marriage, for example.
Okay, there's no way of knowing going in what's going to happen, but let me tell you, this. Okay, you're going to get more than you bargained for with that question.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Marriage is not something that you go into saying, I hope we can last. I hope we can get through this. I hope we can hang on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you have to first decide whether or not you're willing to commit to making it work. And
Mm-hmm.
you do that by daily making deliberate choices to honor the commitment that you've made.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a series of choices, and this is something that is so hard to understand when you're young. When you're your age,
Mm-hmm.
when I was your age, we have been conditioned by, I think, the movie industry, by books, by magazines, by everything, to uh, view love as the big moment when you both discover that you have mutual feelings, and this burst of joy and excitement and thrill and everything. And everybody considers that, um, in a way, the end of the story, the end of the chapter of courtship and discovery and all that kind of stuff that goes into the process beforehand, because that's where the movies end. Usually, if it's your standard romance, um, they they are attracted or not to each other. They go through hardships, and then they discover they love each other, and boom, at the end they're together, and then that's it. Cut to the happy ending, and we're gone. And um, the thing is that we have been conditioned to see that as kind of the end of the process, but that is the beginning of the story. Um, the kind of love that sustains a marriage, you don't start with it. You don't even know what it is going in. You've never experienced it before, because uh, a love that sustains a long-term relationship is the end product. It's not what you start with. And it's it's built up step by step as you go, with each hurdle that you get across. um, it adds bricks onto the foundation that you're building, that is going to sustain the relationship. And so that's what Americans especially have trouble understanding. They go in to a long-term relationship based on these feelings, these wonderful, amazing feelings that are great. And I'm not saying we should, discard those, because those are so much fun. The butterflies, the thrill, that first revelation when you discover that you really share the same feelings toward each other and stuff. That's amazing. And the adrenaline rushes and all that kind of stuff. And it's wonderful to experience that. But that's not going to sustain a relationship, because the one thing that we know about feelings is that feelings are going to change. And I mean, they just are. That's, they just will. And so the love that you build over the course of a long-term relationship, that is based on trust that you build up between each other, by staying with it. You know, the more you see each partner make a deliberate choice to honor the commitment and stay with the relationship instead of bailing, that builds a trust between you, and that builds a bond of shared experience and shared commitment and history that goes into the final product that you end up with. And the thing is that people don't understand, when you're in a relationship, there are going to be days when you don't feel love for your partner. I mean, there just are. Even if you love each other deeply, there are going to be some days where you just think, you know, I wish I could just leave and never come back. You know, there's some days when I just want to be rid of you. You know, there are. I mean, there's some days where you just look at each other and it's just like, I just really want to punch you in the face right now. I won't. I'll choose not to, but it feels like that would be kind of satisfying to me right now if I could do that. I mean, there are times when you are not going to feel love, but at those times, that's when you make a choice to act lovingly. So making deliberate decisions to continue acting lovingly towards somebody when you don't feel the love, that is what sustains the relationship. And not recognizing the fact that feelings are not the gauge of the relationship. There are deeper things and more lasting things that hold a relationship together than just the way you happen to be feeling on any given day. And so many people, I've seen it again and again and again, when that initial burst of feeling and excitement and joy and love, and you just want to be with that person forever, you know, and all that kind of stuff, when that starts to change a little bit and it feels like it's fading maybe, then the people start panicking there and like, oh no, I don't feel that same love anymore. And does that mean I don't love this person? Does that mean it's over? And I hear that so many times. Is it over? Well, the thing is, it doesn't have to be over if you choose to keep feeding into it and to keep building onto it. And if you choose to stick with it. That's how you get to, you know, your 25th anniversary, your 30th, 40th, 50th anniversary. That's how those long-term relationships last, is because people choose to stick with it and keep working on it, even when it gets hard. And the end product that you end up with after, like for me, I've said before, we celebrated our 45th anniversary this year.
Congratulations!
And yeah, it was hard. I'm not lying, but no, but we have now. What we have is a very deep friendship. We have a shared history. We have a deep level of trust and respect for one another. The bedrock of our foundation now is so much deeper and stronger than it was when we were 19-year-olds first falling in love. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I was 20 and John was 3 days from being 21 when we got married, and which is way too young. Don't even think about it. At that age, no, just don't do it. But still, we felt what we thought was love for each other, but it's nothing compared to what we have now after 45 years together. And those 45 years, they weren't easy. They weren't always easy. And those times where I said sometimes you feel like just punching them, well, okay, I'm speaking from experience about that. I'm a very physical person. I get a lot of satisfaction from punching things. I try not to do any harm, but yeah, it's not easy. And sometimes you wonder if the work is worth it. But then you get on the other side of it, on this side of it, you look back and you go, whoa, we've shared a life together, and we've built a family together, and we've built a history together, and this was worth it. It was worth sticking it out, and people don't know that at the beginning going in, and they give up too easily. And when it starts getting tough, they pack it in and say, oh well, we tried, when actually no, they didn't. So yeah, I kind of rambled, sorry.
No, that's great. Yeah, I mean, usually I have something to like add on, or I have like my own view of things, but for this I feel like I really don't until maybe 20-30 years from now. So yeah, I think you covered it pretty well. So